Order. The House and Committee is resumed on the Social Security Youth Support Work Focus Amendment Bill. Members, when we were last considering the bill, we were debating Part 1 and Tracy Martin had the call. She has about 4.5 minutes left, but just before the member takes the call, I should inform the House that an SOP in the name of Jan Logie, an amendment which is set out on SOP number 78, I have received a certification where the government is exercising a financial veto which rules that particular amendment out of order. That's a point of order, Chris Hickman.
Just to seek clarification, Mr Chairman, does the ruling out of order of that amendment thereby mean that reference to it in the debate is also out of order?
Technically, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Tracy Martin.
Kia ora. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Yes, the answer is yes. Oh, look, okay. Sorry. Just for clarification, it is my hope that when I say speak to the bill or it's out of order, that the House actually acknowledges that. So it was. I was being a little subtle, and I apologise to the House. The answer is yes. Tracy Martin.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. As I was saying before the break, I rise to speak as New Zealand First's youth spokesperson. I rise as a mother of a 17-year-old. I rise as the chairman of the board of Maharangi College. I rise as a person working on the Mayor's Task Force for Jobs and as holding the youth portfolio for the Rodney Local Board of Auckland Council. So this is an area I have a great deal of passion about. And I want to acknowledge that the regulatory impact statement, I'm dealing particularly with 123F. There's a lot in this bill, but I'm going to just focus on 123F. The regulatory impact statement refers to 3,307 16 and 17-year-olds that this youth package will affect. The Minister and Mr Macindoe in his second reading speech referred to the 14,000 young people not in employment or in training, which is neat. And the suggestion is, through those references, that those are the young people that this bill will affect. Those are the young people, that is the extent of the young people that this bill will affect. In reality, there are 188,470 16 to 18-year-olds in New Zealand that, when this bill passes, will be tracked by their national student number through the Ministry of Social Development. And the country does not know that. The country does not know that every single one of those 16 and 17-year-olds, when they leave school, no matter where they leave school to go to, whether that be a job, whether that be into tertiary education or into a tech or onto a benefit, will have their data handed over to the Ministry of Social Development, and then a risk analysis will be done on them. A risk analysis will be done on them and their families, and that risk analysis is to figure out what sort of risk are they to us as a nation of ever going on a benefit. And then they'll be categorised through that risk analysis. 188,470 citizens will have a risk analysis done on them by the Ministry of Social Development when this bill passes. However, the Ministry of Social Development doesn't have the workforce to do it. So the Ministry of Social Development is going to have to contract out those analyses to private providers. And I pick up on this point now about providers. And I'm a person who also spent some time with Dale Williams down in Otahonga looking at that model. And I can understand that the Minister has attempted to take what is a highly successful model, which is the Otahonga model, which is built on a community that gives a damn and actually has wrapped around their young people and come up with solutions for their town. But you cannot take a community-based model and stretch it across the country, Minister. I'm sorry, you can't. And I appreciate also that the Minister has recently, those contracts have gone out. And again, I point to the fact that I work in the Rodney Local Board area of Auckland City, which is 46% of the land mass of Auckland. 4 contracts were given out for the provisions inside this bill to work with youth in this area and to cover the Auckland region. 2 of them in South Auckland, 1 of them in Central Auckland, 1 of them that reaches as far as Takapuna. There are no provisions inside the Rodney Local Board area covering the 46% of the landmass of Auckland City inside the current contracts that have been handed out. And actually provision has been removed, and our people will now springboard, and the Men's Centre in Helensville and the others working in Wellsford, 2 areas particularly that have social deprivation scores of 8 and some severe youth issues, are now going to have to seek other funding. They're going to have to fight for other funding, Minister, and I think that's a shame, and we're frightened. We're actually frightened that this model that is being stretched across the country, that is being delivered in this way, is going to leave us out in the cold. And we want to participate. Our communities want to duplicate, replicate, work with the Otahonga model. We care for our young. We want to participate, and we feel shut out in the way that the model and this bill currently puts that provision into our space. So I speak on all those things.
I'm going to take the Government Senior Whip first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek